Poland's economic transition has opened the country to the world. On Poland Today, we gain insight from people who've forged their careers and made their home here. Today's interview may be an eye-opener. Our guests mostly paint a rosy picture of life in Poland. Psychologist Melissa Hernández Jaczewska counsels foreigners and mixed nationality couples facing mental health issues or relationship problems. Melissa, welcome to Poland Today.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
It's great to see you. You've got your own personal story, your own journey to come to Poland, and we'll hear more about your life as we go on in the interview. But let's first of all focus on the people that you are working with. Now, the number of foreigners in Poland has been growing and growing, hasn't it?
Right. Yes. Now there are about more than 2 million people living in Poland from different countries.
Right. Okay. Which is about 5% of the population.
Right.
And that's now visible, and you can hear different languages all the time. I'm sure that's changed since you first came here.
Yes, I came in Poland in 2001, and I remember walking the streets, being one of the few expats. But nowadays, you hear every day different languages.
You actually have to be careful what you say. Is that what you're saying? Indeed, yes. And when people come here, they come with their own expectations. Maybe there's a kind of an initial period where they're all excited about things. Does that last?
Well, every major transition in life involves grief. And whether it's changing jobs, changing status, changing schools, at the beginning everything is exciting, and it's the honeymoon period when you find the new, everything is exotic and new, and you are curious. But the same that when you go to a trip, there is one moment when you want to come back home.
And this is something, thinking back on my own experience, this is probably something that I experienced at first as well, because everything is new. And coming to a country like Poland, you expect things to be very, very different. How different are they?
Well, I think I used to compare that it's like asking a bird to go to live in the ocean, or the opposite. Habits and rules and what is correct in one place is completely different than what is in other country. So yes, it's a very, very big transition.
And thinking of the kinds of people that make that transition, would you say that there's a kind of a type of person who succeeds better as an expat than somebody who maybe has more difficulties?
Well, I think it's depend on the how the person is getting adapted to changes. For some reasons, we want to protect ourselves and stay in our comfort zone. And for some people, it's easier depending on how they were raised, how they are open to the world, how they were, how they evolve in their lives. But for some people, it's really, really painful and hard to get adapted to a new culture.
And does it make a difference if somebody has made the decision to go for their career, or if they are following somebody else to Poland?
Well, of course, the motivation that a person has to get adapted influence very much. But I've seen people who have very good jobs, and they have invested money, for example, and they have good relationships, and anyway don't get adapted so easily. And the other side as well, people who came a few months after, and they feel like home.
So it depends on the person. What would you say were the main attributes of somebody who is successful in that journey?
I think it's about when you put yourself in a new situation, you have to face the fact that you won't be perfect, that you will make mistakes, that you have to learn a lot of things every day. And this going out from the comfort zone is easier for some people than for others. You know, in the brain we have this amygdala where produces segregates hormones which is a kind of alarm for us to be protected and to maintain ourselves in the comfort zone. But when we tell our brain that we are fine, that everything is okay, that we are secure in the new environment, and we start getting adapted, we start getting familiar with the situations, with the new rules, then gets easier. So it's about getting familiar with the new environment.
Okay, and does that necessarily mean giving up something of your former self as well?
Yes, this is really, really important, because you will never be the same person that you were before. And so you have to let go the previous version of yourself in order to learn a new version. It's not that you will become a new person, but you will have to forget some things about yourself and go through the process with open mind.
That's very interesting. When I first came to Poland, I drank my tea without milk. Yeah, thought this is the Polish way. Put a piece of lemon in, and so I was trying to adapt. But after a certain amount of time, then I changed my habits back again.
Right.
Is that a question of maybe just feeling more comfortable in being myself here?
Yes. After some time, the expat becomes a bit bicultural.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I used to point when I was, somewhere. Yes, in Poland is not correct. So
what do you mean? Give me an example.
When you point to, you want to say, look at that building. In Mexico, we just point.
And look at that person as well?
Yes, and this is correct, and it's fine. Or you have the book and you are pointing something to teach someone, to show. In Poland, you need to take a pen or pencil to point. You won't do it with your finger. It's
right.
Not proper. So those kind of habits, it's nothing important. It's nothing really relevant. But adding all those small stuff during the day, it makes you have to change in order to get adapted.
Okay. And when you speak, I see you use your hands. Yes. This is a Mexican thing. It's less so in Poland.
Yes, I use my hands. Now I'm actually trying not to use them, but I use them very much, especially when I am in my practice. I stand up, we do different stuff, but yes, I use very much my hands to talk.
And so is there a point in trying to learn these cultural differences? I mean, if you think of it, in Poland, there's several things which you do. You're talking about pointing, but who goes first, and whether you shake hands, you can't shake hands over the threshold
Yes.
of a building and things like that, and shaking hands with a woman first
Right.
rather than a man.
Yes.
Yeah, which for I don't know what the situation is in Mexico, but it is different, isn't it?
Yes.
For us, we would always shake the guy's hand first.
We would kiss the cheek and hug. For me, this is the proper way to do it.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's like if you don't want to be close to that person, you don't want a relationship with that, you are not interested in speaking very much, so you just maintain yourself like this when you shake hands.
Oh, so even when you meet somebody for the first time, you kiss them? No.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Okay. Well, I met you at the front door and I shook your hand.
But we are in Poland.
We're in Poland,
Yes.
of course. Yes, indeed.
Right.
Indeed. Now, we're talking about these cultural differences. I often asked, are there cultural differences? How do you cope in a marriage with cultural differences? And I say, well, there are cultural differences because I come from a culture called the male culture, and my wife comes from the culture called the female culture.
Right.
So already at the beginning,
Right.
there are cultural differences.
Right.
But would you say that the cultural differences between how, say, somebody from abroad interacts with a woman and how a Polish person a Polish woman interacts with a foreigner, does that cause problems sometimes?
Yes, of course. As you said, every couple is a new world. But when you have people from different cultures, there are things not said that supposedly should be understood, but they are not. Mm-hmm. So everything has to be clarified. It needs a lot of communication. You have to invest a lot of time, patience, explaining obvious things for you, right? All those differences may be really problem in a couple. Simple things and silly things and more relevant things like religion or habits or ways to see the world or really.
So where does religion come into things in terms of a relationship?
Well, there are people who, in Poland, for example, most of the people are Catholics. I come from Mexico, where also 77% of the population are Catholics. But there are people from different religions, if they are going to baptize or not, if they are going to follow that rule or not, if they are going to eat meat or not. All those kind of stuff have to be said and settled. And when you marry someone, when you have a relationship with someone, sometimes you don't think about those things at the beginning. Just get in love and take the decision. And later on, you face all those details.
Now, we have a lot of viewers and some of our guests as well who have maybe made the decision to come to Poland for their partner, because many Poles have gone out into the world, particularly to Germany, to the Netherlands, to the UK, and at a certain point they decide they want to bring up children and come over here. Yeah.
Yes.
They, in starting out, not speaking the language, etc. What kind of problems can they then face, and what does this do to their marriages?
Right. It's yes, learning a language is you have to face the fact that you don't know something. And if a person in their previous country was had an important job, manager, had some people, was working in a team, his reputation is already built somewhere. Coming to Poland without speaking the language feels really, really frustrating, because you don't know how to solve basic stuff. Going to an appointment to the doctor, reading a contract, those kind of things that you used to do before by yourself, suddenly you are not able to. So you become dependent on the person who is from Poland. And
so it changes the dynamics in the
yes,
relationship.
Yes.
So this person who was, taking it, that's a male person, then this alpha male is suddenly more dependent on his wife.
Of course. And she has to be in charge, for example, of finding a plumber, finding where to take the car when it's broken, talking to mechanics, and those kind of activities that, well, in the previous country the man was used to do. He's not able to do these kind of things.
And what about in family dynamics? Because of course, in Poland, well, there's always the teściowa, the mother-in-law, with this son-in-law who she doesn't maybe understand so well. Can that affect the relationships and the whole experience of being in Poland?
Yes, if they don't speak the language, right? They don't have something in common. Yes. However, sometimes it's about attitude. I've met different kind of people who have very good relationship with their in-laws, and they don't speak the same language, but they just feel and they let themselves, go through the emotions. So here it depends on the people, the attitude.
Now, when people come to you, for advice, they're not coming because everything is great.
Sure.
They're coming because they have problems. What do you do? What do you say? Do you set them on the right path, or do you set them on the path to finish things?
Well, taking a therapy is about being conscious. What I try is to make people conscious on their decisions. If the relation is going to last, it will be visible during therapy. If it's not, they will take the decisions consciously, and they will split. So this is something that I say during the first session, that this is the risk of taking a couples therapy. Yeah.
But coming to you, presumably, they're wanting to save it mostly.
Of course. If some people, some couples come when the problems are somewhere low. They are not very developed, those problems, but they feel some kind of there are some topics where they need attention to. But there are other couples which come who come when they are in the really last stage, and is the last chance that they have to save the marriage. And I have seen people getting together, which is beautiful, but also getting apart, which if for them is beautiful, then it's a good decision.
Being a foreigner in Poland and also being a woman as a therapist as well, do you find yourself, I mean, you have to keep out of it to a certain extent, but do you find that the woman in you understands the woman and the foreigner in you understands the foreigner? And is that, you know, something that helps or gets in the way sometimes?
Yes. Well, I have been living in Poland since many years, so I half of my life. So I can say that I understand Polish culture. So at the beginning, of course not, it took time for me as well. But so I understand expats, but I also understand the other part, because I have seen so many stories through the years that open my my way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I understand women because I am a woman, but I also understand men because I have read.
Yes.
I have prepared myself to be able to understand them.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, during therapy, the psychologist, the therapist, is like not there.
Mm-hmm.
Is invisible.
Okay.
You are there for the other person.
You're facilitating to a certain extent.
Yes.
So success in this process is what, through self-realization, or what is success in this situation?
Success is I think knowing that is going to be interesting, expecting things but saying those things to the other, not guessing what the other thought, thinks or wants, but talking. So communication, respect their individualities, have things in common, but also friends and activities outside of the couple. You know, to and first of all, not waiting for someone else to make me happy, but be happy by myself, and then sharing that happiness with the other person.
And so these are general things for every marriage, essentially, and it's sometimes more difficult because of these cultural differences.
Yes, but at the same time, it gets very rich, because when you get a multicultural couple, you can learn very much from the other person as well.
And their culture as well.
Yes, but you need to be open.
Now, let's go back.
Yes.
When the young Melissa Hernández came to Poland, because you had to, in many ways, start right over, didn't you?
Yes.
What was your journey in terms of becoming a professional psychologist in Poland?
It was a very long journey. When I came to Poland, I just finished my university preparation in Mexico, in a very good university. So I was very proud of myself with my diploma and so on. And I came to Poland and my diploma was nothing here. So this was a really, really shock for me. And, you know, when you go out from the university, you want to start working right away. You are ready. You have all the information vivid. And then you receive the information that, no, you cannot do it.
And
you have to prepare.
Is that still the case for people from universities in Mexico who would come over here, or has it got a bit better?
Well, from many, I mean, it's not only from Mexico, but when you come to Poland, especially if you have a field when you are going to talk with people.
Yes.
This is mental health. So Poland wants to be sure that you are well prepared.
Okay, of course, yes. So what did you do? You had to go and learn Polish?
First I had to learn Polish and then go to university.
Again?
Yes, but I got an nostrification. So, I mean, my diploma from Mexico was worth to have, because I didn't have to study the whole thing. But it was in Polish, and it took time.
It took time. And where did that journey begin? Where did you start learning Polish?
In different schools, in different schools. I used to go to the first class. I remember until now. I read the title of the book, and it said survival level. And I was terrified. What is going to happen to me? What is this?
Survival level, and you didn't know anything.
No, I knew how to count from 1 to 12, maybe 14 in Polish. Say dzień dobry and few words, but nothing else.
You knew how to count, but you didn't know how to combine a number with a noun. That's the difficult thing, and an adjective, and it all has to go together.
Right.
And then you had to study again. And how long did it take until you were back at that entry level that you had come to Poland at?
I think it took about 5 years. Yes. And of course, I didn't start working as a therapist right away. I have to prepare myself, do a specialization, and I just wanted to do something, start working. So I teach Spanish in the meantime. I work in a company, in the outsourcing company, recruiting foreigner Polish to go to different countries. When it was the big moment of going to Ireland, for example. And I get prepared. I get more and more preparation until the moment that I got ready to start.
Okay, but this is a kind of a warning sign for people who were thinking about coming over here, that in certain professions you've just got to learn the language.
Yes, there is no other way. Yes.
On the other hand, because you learned the language, that made a difference to you?
Yes, in my personal life and professional life as well. When you learn a language, opens you a new world. First of all, I started understanding more Poles, how their language is very precise, specific, direct, the same as Polish people are. So yes, it opened me also I have 2 children, so I was able to speak with them, to listen to them and understand what they are talking about, right?
At breakfast table when they're talking to each other.
Right.
And they speak to each other in Polish?
They do, yes.
Which is a pretty normal kind of situation, because they go to a normal Polish school.
Right.
So they're with their friends, and they consider themselves Polish, or they consider themselves a bit of a mixture?
Depending on the situation, sometimes they want to be more Mexican or more Polish, but no, they are proud of their roots.
They're proud of their roots. And this whole thing about the language, talking about problems in a relationship, if there are essentially different language camps within a family, does that sometimes lead to tension in a relationship?
Yes, of course, because there are a lot of misunderstanding. For example, there are some couples who speak the language of one of both, but there are others which speak completely another one. So all the time they have to be, thinking before saying things, no matter if they are fluent or not. It's a kind of, break, not to be able to express really your emotions, what you want, your frustrations. But again, it's about getting the positive attitude and understanding that if you want to be with that person, you will have to pay the price.
And that price is coming closer culturally.
Right.
Now, in your process of coming closer culturally, we often ask people on Poland today about times that have really been, when things have changed in Poland that you have noticed. Is there any particular sort of pivot point for when things have changed that you would point to?
I don't know if I have a point, but I have seen the progress in infrastructure in Poland. When I came here, was another country. First of all, was gray, and everything was really looked completely different.
Did you come in the summer or the winter?
The first time I came to Poland was winter, was January.
Yes.
Yes. So yes,
gray and probably
and
freezing.
Freezing. Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But for example, highways have changed completely.
Mm-hmm.
I used to travel very often by car, and going to the seaside took years, 6-7 hours in good days. Today you have the highway, and
yes,
you get there in 3 hours.
Gosh, you drive quickly.
3-4 hours.
And what about people in Poland? Is there anybody that you would point to as having really changed things in the time that you've been here, or for you?
I would say, and please don't tell this very loud, but I have the privilege to speak with so many people and to hear so many stories, to hear, people's fears and dreams. And so each time I speak with a client, a patient, no matter that the relationship is not, it cannot be a friendship, but it changed me a little bit.
And thinking about the future, what would you like to change in Poland? What if so? Would it become a little bit more like Mexico, or a bit more like your ideal, or would it be more of the same?
Well, I would love to see. I like very much to go to Wisła to take walks there. So I would love to see more and more life there.
More life in talking about Warsaw.
Talking about Warsaw, yes.
And is Warsaw the place in Poland that you would say has been your place in the country, or is there some other place where you go regularly that you've really seen change over the time that you've been here?
Well, I notice more in Warsaw, but I like very much, for example, Mazury.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So the Lake District.
Yes, I'm connected with the ocean.
Yes.
Yes. So if there is an ocean or lake, then for me it's great.
Okay.
I feel at home.
Some kind of psychological calm or something like that.
Right. Yes.
Well, Melissa Hernández, it's been great talking to you. Therapeutic, some people might say.
Thank you.
But thanks for sharing your great experience on Poland, on dealing with being a foreigner here in Poland.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
And that's all we've got time for on Poland Today. I think that you have to agree, we had some great insights there. Thanks very much, and keep on watching, keep liking the content, and be sure to watch more on Poland Today. Thank you. Bye-bye.